I'm standing here by the Flora angel in the garden on a May evening here in California. And I'd like to welcome you to this wonderful conference that Essências Florais is sponsoring on the Metaflora map of the human soul. I've been asked to say a few words, and I wanted to start by standing out here in the full exaltation and richness of the garden. Because that feeling of being in a garden is so wondrous, it's so magical. It's a moment in which we feel so full of what God has given us, what creation gives us all around. The birds that are singing, all the blossoms, the green grass. And in that moment, we feel, yes, this garden really brings a richness to my soul. It makes me feel fulfilled. And at the same time, we could ask, is there in the co-creative journey a way in which we also create a garden?
Paracelsus wrote, "The remedy is only a seed which comes to blossom in the hands of each practitioner." The Metaflora map of the human soul reflects this wisdom of Paracelsus and the alchemical tradition. It is a healing path that is transformational. Like the flower itself, it grows from one stage to another, the seed in the womb of Mother Earth, the gentle green leaf that lifts itself out of the ground into the air, and finally the blossom that gives itself fully in its expansive state into the light, and then becomes a seed again to return this journey. And so we need to understand that a stepwise, gradual approach towards healing is at the heart of the alchemical tradition. And we can see that it is depicted in many different ways in the illustrations and teachings. Most significantly, one can note that there are 7 major archetypes, which often are drawn to reflect this great mystery of the human soul. And this is often signified by the 7 planets. We have indeed discovered in the Flower Essence Society, through over 3 decades of case research, that these same archetypes are reflected in the healing themes of the case work. And so this happens, this deeper longitudinal development of the human soul in flower essence therapy happens when we take the time in the therapy to stimulate these levels. This 7-fold understanding of the earth and the human being is written everywhere. We can think of the days of the week that were named for the 7 planets. We can think of the 7 sacraments within the Christian tradition, which have to do with this deeper healing of the soul. Or the 7 colors of the rainbow, which speak so beautifully to the artist within all of us. There is the ancient teaching of the chakras in the Hindu tradition, which has to do with 7 sacred centers of energy from which the human soul radiates. There is also the deep symbol of the menorah in the Judaic tradition, which has to do with the central candle of the sun and the 6 other planets that surround this sacred center. And also we can consider the Eightfold Path of Buddha. For Buddha taught that there were 7 basic levels of soul development, and the 8th level is an encompassing meditation which includes the ability to hold all 7 of these previous levels. And in this way, it is like the musical scale itself, which again is 7 notes, and when one goes up an octave, there is an 8th encompassing reality. This is one of the most inspirational of the 7-fold alchemical illustrations, and it's from an illuminated manuscript in the 15th century called Aurora Consurgens. And this word means the rising sun, the light of the rising sun, and it was meant to also refer to the birth of the dawning light in the human soul through the process of alchemy. So we see these 7 planets and then the central image of the vessel and the fluid of the human soul, which is being given into this central vessel.